It is a great day because once again, I was reminded of exactly why I love Donald J. Trump as our president. And if I could work my will, I'm going to quote Scrooge here, if I could work my will, I would want Donald Trump to be president forever. 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 I'm serious because what he did today was a classic troll and roll, and it was absolutely awesome. And you're going to get some analysis on the fireworks which took place today between Donald Trump, Nancy Botox Pelosi, and Chuck E. Cheese Schumer that I promise you, you're not going to get anywhere else on the dial. You're not even going to get it on Fox News tonight. Although, Hannity, Tucker, Laura, they'll be glad at what the president did. And even Rush Limbaugh was glad at what the president did. Nobody is going to give you the insight and the analysis that I am about to give you right now. So buckle up, hang on, because it's gonna hurt.
You can't handle the truth.
Now, for those of you that are what I call quasi-Trump supporters, in other words, you're Republican, and you want to support the Republican president, but why does he have to be so mean? Why does he have to tweet what he tweets? He is without a doubt the single most honest president we have ever had, barring none, including Ronald Reagan. You're kidding. Nope, stick around. I'll explain. You're calling him more honest than Ronald Reagan, who gave us Iran-Contra. All right, moving along and skipping over that. Donald Trump, you may not like what he says. You may absolutely hate how he says it. You may find him rude. You may find him crude. Now, got to understand that Nancy Botox Pelosi and Chuck E. Cheese Schumer, they went to the White House today expecting to roll the president. After all, they hold all the cards. I think Chuck Schumer actually said today, elections have results. Well, duh. And so they went in there believing that they hold the upper hand over Trump. He's not going to get his $5 billion for a border wall. It's not going to happen. And they're going to shame him with shutting down the government. And what happened was Donald Trump, true to form, flipped the script. He threw the switch, and basically, number one, not only was he proud to own shutting down the government, but he managed to now beat into the narrative because every media outlet, NBC, CBS, PBS, PMSNBC, everybody ran this press conference that he did with them live. And Nancy Pelosi kept saying, Mr. President, we need to turn the cameras off and do this in private. Why? I thought you guys were all about wanting transparency. Once again, Trump rolled you, and he showed the American people exactly what you are. First of all, you're a doddering idiot who can't even put two cohesive words together. How she actually is a power broker in the Democratic Party is beyond me. Even the young ones are having to learn to fall in line and get with Nancy because she controls the money. How? Is she really like a MILF? I mean, how is it that is she just like this cougar? I understand that, especially after living in Florida, the number one disease, are you ready for this? The number one sickness at the Villages. For those of you that are not from the Central Florida area, the Villages are a really upscale, if you will, retirement community. It's like an entire city of retirees, and it's called the Villages. Do you know what the number one health issue is at the Villages? It's not arthritis. It's not dementia. It's not cancer. It's not heart disease. It's STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. The Villages are really pretty active, and I mean, they're like swinging. Do you know that some of the fastest growing adult entertainment websites, etc.? By the way, no, don't go thinking, oh, Pastor Marty, how do you know this? I read. Happen to be these granny sites. It's just not kind of like my thing to think about, 75-year-old. Well, anyway, so I don't know, is Nancy Pelosi some type of like cougar MILF that has, does all these, really deviant things to really old, wealthy dudes that, impart then a lot of money to the Democratic Party? I don't know. She certainly can't be the connection to money because she's proven herself to be brilliant, because she really is bat crap crazy, and she's dumber than a doorpost. She may be politically cunning, but when it comes to actual everyday knowledge, she's stupid. And she and Chuck E. Cheese Schumer, they went to the White House today believing their own propaganda, believing the narrative that CNN and the other media outlets have painted for the last 2 years, that Trump is an imbecile. He stole the election, the Russians helped him, and he's a complete buffoon and a moron, and his White House is undisciplined, and he doesn't know what he's doing. Let me just say this. You don't become a multi-gazillionaire because you're a moron. You become a multi-millionaire because you're actually pretty smart. And Donald Trump definitely today proved he was the smartest man in the room. Chuck E. Cheese Schumer knew it. That's why when you watch the video of this, he is seething. He knows that the cameras are playing for Donald Trump, that he is setting the narrative. And Schumer starts kind of punching back, but he comes across as angry. Donald Trump is hitting him hard, but he's kind of laughing, and he's saying, this is all good stuff. This is how we get things done here. And Schumer is seething, and he's looking at Nancy like, shut up, you babbling old fool. Just shut up. You look like Skeletor. Just be quiet. Every time you open your mouth, I understand why the other members of the House don't want you to be the leader of the House. You're a boob and a buffoon. He can't say that, but it's exactly what he's thinking, and he knows he's being rolled and trolled by the president. Now, Nancy and Chucky walked into the White House today thinking they held all the cards and they were going to roll the president, that he was going to have to kowtow to them and make nicey nice with them, and he did the exact opposite. Now, the first thing that President Trump does, and I'm going to play the sound clip, he's going to set the tone, and he's going to make it absolutely undeniable, unequivocal, that border security means the wall.
And then we have the easy one, the wall. That'll be the one that will be the easiest of all. What do you think, Chuck? Maybe not?
It's called funding the government, Mr. President.
So we're going to see, but I will tell you the wall will get built. We'll see what happens. It is not an easy situation because the Democrats have a different view, I think, than I can say the Republicans. We have great Republican support. We don't have Democrat support. But we're going to talk about that now. We're going to see tremendous amounts of wall have already been built, and a lot of wall when you include the renovation of existing fences and walls. We've renovated a tremendous amount. And we've done a lot of work in San Diego. We're building new walls right now, and we've right next to San Diego, we've completed a major section of wall, and it's really worked well. And we have to take care of border security. When you look at what happened with the caravans, with the people, we shut it down. We had no choice. We shut it down. If you look at San Diego, illegal traffic dropped 92% once the wall was up. El Paso, illegal traffic dropped 72%, then ultimately 95% once the wall was up. In Tucson, Arizona, illegal traffic dropped 92%. Yuma, it dropped illegal traffic 95 to 96%. If you really want to find out how effective a wall is, just ask Israel. 99.9% effective. Then our wall will be every bit as good as that, if not better.
So President Trump meeting with Chuck E. Cheese Schumer, Nancy Botox Pelosi, and he comes right out the gate. First we do the nice, the press is there. They're going to take the pictures, and I'm sure Chuck and Nancy, they're ready to give their little, prepared remark. We're here to come to some bipartisan agreements here. But, obviously there are some things that we disagree with the president, but behind closed doors, we're going to strike a deal that's for the benefit of all the American people. So Donald Trump, right out the gate, he sets the agenda. Border security, because Nancy Pelosi and Chuck E. Cheese Schumer, they keep talking about, we have to have border security. They don't want a wall. And by the way, the Rhino Republicans don't want a wall. They benefit from illegal aliens. The Democrats benefit from illegal aliens because it's a voting base. The Rhinos benefit from illegal aliens because it's a cheap labor force. And both sides of the fence are making money off the drugs. Oh, yes, I said it. And both sides are also making money off the human trafficking. And oh, yes, I said it. How do I know that? Because if they weren't making money, it'd stop. Did that sink in? Was that a red pill piece of news for you? You know, Kool-Aid on the American Daybreak isn't the only one that hands out red pills. And he does it with your friendly host. You know, you do it to you while I'm kicking you in the groin. You know, because again, I'm not worried about being rude and crude. When you turn off this radio show, you won't scratch your head wondering, when would Pastor Marty think about that? I'm going to tell you straight up, and it's going to be in your face, direct and to the point. If the rhinos and the left, these swamp-dwelling Republican and Democrats weren't making money off the drugs, it'd stop. If they weren't making money off the human trafficking, it'd stop. That's why neither side wants the wall. They'll talk border security because their constituents want border security. What Trump did today was you can't have border security without a wall. He defined it. And now Nancy Pelosi is going to try to take the president on in her own incoherent way, and listen how the president absolutely schools her in how Washington works. Because remember, she's going in there thinking that as the senior member, that she's been there, since like time began. And, Abe Lincoln sat down and was bronzed and became the Lincoln Monument. She's been there that long, that swamp-dwelling creature that she is. And she is under this delusion that Trump is a buffoon and doesn't know anything, and he absolutely schools her. Here we go.
Nancy, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to meet with you so that we can work together in a bipartisan way to meet the needs of the American people.
Yeah.
I think the American people recognize that we must keep government open. Where a shutdown is not worth anything, and that you should not have a Trump shutdown. You have the White House, the Trump shutdown. You have the White House. You have the Senate. You have the House of Representatives. You have the votes. You should pass it.
No, we don't have the votes, Nancy, because in the Senate we need 60 votes.
No, but in the House,
and we don't have.
You could bring it up right now.
Yeah, but I can't. Excuse me, but I can't get it passed in the House if it's not going to pass in the Senate. I don't want to waste time.
Well, the fact is, you can get it started that way.
The House we can get passed very easily, and we do. But the problem is the Senate, because we need 10 Democrats to vote, and they won't vote.
That's not the point, Mr. President. The point is that there are equities to be weighed. And we're here to have a conversation in a prayerful way, so I don't think we should have a debate in front of the press on this. But the fact is, the House Republicans could bring up this bill, if they had the votes, immediately and set the tone for what you want.
If we thought we were going to get it passed in the Senate, Nancy, we would do it immediately. We'd get it passed very easily in the House.
No, that's not.
We would get it, Nancy, I'd have it passed in 2 seconds.
Now, notice what she's trying to do. She's trying to do two things here. Number one, insinuate he doesn't have the votes in the House. And then what she wants to be able to do is then spin this that, see, there is not support on Capitol Hill for a wall. This is just a Trump fantasy. Now, why he won't take her bait is really simple. There's no point in pushing this forward, even though he could get the numbers overwhelmingly in the House. Because let me tell you, even if there were Republicans in the House that don't want the wall, they know there's not 10 votes in the Senate on the Democratic side to make this happen. So because Republicans, and you got to know this about their DNA, they are gutless, they are cowards. Just ask Mark Levin, who sold out to Glenn Beck. They are gutless and they are cowards. Remember how when they knew that Barack Obama would veto every time they repealed Obamacare, but how they all voted to repeal it? And then when President Trump took office and it actually could be repealed, they wouldn't vote for it? So yes, the Republicans in the House, they would vote right now for the wall, knowing full well it doesn't have support in the Senate because they don't have 10 Democratic votes. Which is the other reason Nancy and Chucky want him to go forward with it, because they want it to be an embarrassment to the president. See, you don't have the support. See, you don't have the support. See, you don't. So the president, he just keeps going on. Look, I've got the support in the House, but I'm not going to take it to the Senate where I don't have the support unless you're going to help me, Chuck. Are you, Chuck? Chuck, are you? Are you? Well, then Chuck Schumer decides to get involved in this conversation, and I think he's definitely regretting that now.
We have a lot of disagreements here. The Washington Post today gave you a whole lot of Pinocchios because they say you constantly misstate how much the wall is built, how much of the wall is built, and how much is there. But that's not the point here. We have a disagreement about the wall, whether it's effective or whatever. Not on border security, but on the wall.
So he's trying to put it back. No, we're talking about border security, and border security is not the wall. See, if you've watched the video of this, you've seen that Schumer is shaken. Nancy's too stupid to be. She's sitting there thinking, wait a minute. We won the House. We're in control now. This president is supposed to be, groveling at my feet right now. That I now control Congress, and he's supposed to be making deals with me and worshiping me. And this is almost like a dominatrix situation. I should be having a weapon, and I should be, Trump should be on his hands and knees with a little collar around his neck, and I should be spanking him, and he should be calling me mistress, and he's actually smacking me back and telling me he's in charge. Yeah. See, Nancy hasn't even remotely figured. She's not even in the game. She doesn't even know the score here yet, and she's just totally out of her element. And she looks and that the young progressive Democrats who just got elected, they watch this today in their offices and in groups at bars, and they're like, oh my God, she's our leader. Oh my, this is, Trump totally owns her. He rolled her. Schumer knows that. He's angry. Now, some on the left are saying, well, Schumer rose to her honor and that's not Me Too. Me Too women don't need that. Me Too women are strong. They don't need a man. That's the whole point. No, Schumer's PO'd all right. He's PO'd that this babbling buffoon, this wrinkled up Skeletor, this escapee from Jurassic Park, Nancy Pelosi, is the face of the Democratic Party. And he knows how bad Trump has just made her look on national television. Every stinking network ran with this today. And now even the network executives have got to be like, oh my God, what do we do? We let Trump have the media time to embarrass the people we just helped get elected. Bum, ba-dum, bum. He is a master roller and troller. He's just so good at this. So Chuck is mad. I mean, he is, and he's so mad. He's almost like skipping syllables with his words, and he's trying to be restrained, and yet the president is going to make mincemeat out of his lame argument.
We do not want to shut down the government.
Yes, we do. You may not want to. He's trying to spin it back to, no. We want border security, but we don't want a wall. It's not the same thing. Oh, yes, it is, Chucky.
We've called 20 times to shut down the government. You say, I want to shut down the government. We don't. We want to come to an agreement. If we can't come to an agreement, we have solutions that will pass the House and Senate right now and will not shut down the government. And that's what we're urging you to do. Not threaten to shut down the government because let me just finish. Because you can't get your way.
The last time you shut it down, you got killed.
Let me say something, Mr. President. You just say my way or we'll shut down the government. We have a proposal that Democrats and Republicans will support to do a CR that will not shut down the government. We urge you to take it.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It is very good border security.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It's what the
Because when you look at these numbers of the effectiveness of our border security, and when you look at the job that we're doing with our military...
You just said it is effective.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you just said
Without
it's effective.
a wall, these are only areas where you have the walls.
We want to do
where
this.
you have walls, Chuck, it's effective. Where you don't have walls, it is not effective.
Yeah.
Let's call a halt to this. We come in here as the first branch of government.
We come in here as the first branch of government. In other words, we're more important than you. We're the first branch. And here she goes. I have this little sound clip reveals the total weakness of Nancy Pelosi. Not only is she revealing herself to be completely stupid, which we all knew, but she's so proud of what she thinks she has accomplished, and she's done nothing. She's going to lecture the president on the need for experts to look at this and tell us if we've spent the money effectively and blah, blah. They've had how many years, long before Donald Trump ever got there, that she was there and they didn't solve it? They don't want to solve it, and the American people know it. And they either don't want to solve it because they don't want to or they're too stupid. And that was on full view, full parade today.
Article 1, the legislative branch. We're coming in good faith to negotiate with you about how we can keep the government
Open.
We're going to keep it open if we have border security. If we don't have border security, Chuck,
I'm with you.
we're not going to keep it open.
I'm with you. We are going to have border security.
And it's the same border. You're bragging about what has been done.
By us.
We want to do the same thing we did last year, this year. That's our proposal. If it's good then, it's good now, and it won't shut down the government.
Chuck, we can build a
But that's
much
it.
bigger section
let's
with
debate,
more money.
Let's debate in private. Okay? Yeah, let's debate in private.
Why? Why? What is all this? It's like Comey wanted to be in private with Congress because they could get real answers out of him. Even Trey Gowdy said, we don't need this public spectacle of having the TV cameras there. We can get Mr. Comey behind closed doors. We'll get more answers. And what did they get out of Comey? I don't remember 71 times, and I have no idea 160 times. Gowdy, by the way, is a fraud. I can't stand Trey Gowdy, that Huckleberry Hound, that traitor Gowdy. He is an absolute just waste of oxygen, waste of space. He purposely tanked the Benghazi investigation. He let Hillary walk. He is, without a doubt, a mole from the other side playing on the Republican team. I can't stand Trey Gowdy. They got nothing out of Comey, who, by the way, gave an interview, and I'm not going to have time to get to it today, where he basically says that we have to put our full focus on getting rid of Donald Trump. And don't impeach him. The American people need the satisfaction of, in a landslide, voting him out of office. Now, this is the guy we were told is the director of the FBI was completely fair and impartial as he looked into all things Trump. Yeah. Does anybody really think that Hillary could stand up to the same rectal exam that Donald Trump has undergone for the last 2 years by our so-called intelligence community? Well, we'll never know because they won't do it. That said, Chuck E. Cheese continues.
Frankly, a fact, and we can.
We need border security. I think we all agree that we need border security.
Yes,
Is that
we
right?
do.
Good.
We do.
See? We get along. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, you say border security and the wall. Can you have border security without the wall?
You need the wall. The wall is a part of border security.
What it means to have border security.
Yeah, we need border security. The wall is a part of border security. You can't have very good border security without the wall, no.
That's really not true.
Just
That is a political promise. Border security is a way to effectively honor our
And
responsibility.
the experts say you can do border security without a wall, which is wasteful and doesn't solve the problem.
It totally solves
But
the
I don't
problem.
want to take this.
And it's very important.
This has spiraled downward.
I love the
where
fact
we
that the
have
TV
became
cameras are
better
rolling.
placed
This is
to say, how
great.
do we meet the needs of American people who have needs? The economy has, people are losing their jobs, the market's in a mood, our members are already.
Well, we have the lowest unemployment that we've had in 50 years.
Don't you love, she goes back to that old Democratic playbook. We can't be worrying about a wall. The American people have got real problems. The economy's in the tank, and they're losing their jobs. You know, apparently she's totally out to lunch on where the economy actually is. Missed the point that Donald Trump is loved because of where the economy is. And again, the American people are looking at this like, she's a buffoon. She is a total buffoon.
See, people of the Republican Party are losing their offices now because of the transition. People are not, the morale
And we've gained
is
in the
not-
Senate. Nancy,
the
we've
morale-
gained in the Senate. Excuse me,
Now-
did we win the Senate?
It's
We
not-
won the Senate.
When the president brags that he won North Dakota and Indiana, he's in real trouble.
Do you hear, and see, this is what I mean, you're going to get analysis here you won't get from anywhere else. Do you hear the condescending arrogance of that man? When the president brags he picked up Indiana and North Dakota, he's in trouble. Are Indiana and North Dakota not important to you, Chuck? See, remember, at the end of the day, liberals are elitists. They don't want the Electoral College. They want New York and California deciding every election. North Dakota, you're unimportant. Indiana, screw you. Go away. Nobody knows what a Hoosier is anyway. Shut up. We don't care. Go away. That's what Chuck Schumer just said. Remember this, Democrats. The real reason you lost the 2016 election had nothing to do with Vlad Putin, had nothing to do with Russian bots. It was the fact that you are a bunch of condescending, arrogant, no-goods. You wouldn't go to the Rust Belt states. You wouldn't go to Wisconsin. You wouldn't go to Michigan. You wouldn't go to Pennsylvania. You just considered it was a slam dunk. These are Democratic states. You people just get in line, do as you're told. Therefore, you'll empower us. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to know. We don't have to come there. We don't care about you. You are good to us for nothing but a vote. The only thing we care about is what's happening on the left coast, what's happening on the right coast, and all you people in the middle, you can go to Hades. We don't care. We just want your vote. Yeah, that's what they think of you. And it doesn't matter whether you're white or black, you're just a stupid minion and you're supposed to line up and vote for the big D, the Democrats. Donald Trump treats you like people. Donald Trump comes to your towns and your states and your cities, and he looks around and says, we can fix this. We can get these factories reopened. We can make things happen here again. And you know what? He is. And that's the story the media will not talk about. That's what's happening that the Democrats won't acknowledge.
I did.
Let me say this.
We did win North Dakota.
This is the most unfortunate thing. We came in here in good faith.
We came in here in good faith to give you spin and crap and then go behind closed doors and try to threaten and blackmail the president, and he won't let
It's called
us.
transparency.
I know. It's not transparency when
Yes,
we're
it
not
is.
stipulating to a set of facts and when we want to...
This is a national emergency. Drugs are pouring into our
Yep.
country. People with tremendous medical difficulty and medical problems are pouring in, and in many cases, it's contagious. They're pouring into our country. We have to have border security. We have to have a wall as part of border security. And I don't think we really disagree so much. I also know that, Nancy's in a situation where it's not easy for her to talk right now, and I understand that, and I fully understand that. We're going to have a good discussion, and we're going to see what happens. But we have to have border security.
Don't you talk about me. Don't you talk about me like that. I'm Nancy Pelosi.
I think we
You
can
can't talk
agree
about
on
me
is
like
we
that.
shouldn't shut down the government over a dispute. And you want to shut it down. You keep talking about
The
it.
last time, Chuck, you shut it down.
No.
And then you opened
20
it up very
times.
quickly. And
20
I don't
times.
want to do what you did.
20
But,
times
Chuck,
you have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my will. None of us have said.
You want to know something?
You've said
Okay,
it.
you want to put that on
You've
my...
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay, fair
Absolutely.
enough.
And I am
Disagree.
proud. And I'll
We
tell you what,
disagree.
I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country. So I will take the mantle. I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it. The last time you shut it down, it didn't work. I will take the mantle of shutting down. And I'm going to shut it down for border
But we
security.
believe you shouldn't shut
Okay.
it down.
Thank you very much.
That's why I love Donald J. Trump. Sure, you want to shut it down? Shut it down. I'll take the heat for it. I'll be proud to shut it down because I know the American people want security.